Now, friends, I know how bad it is to be in the claws of an addiction that just takes over everything and runs our lives. Well, it's bad enough to be in that moment and stuck there on that substance controlling everything about your life. But then to add in sub-addictions and subcategories and all of these smaller maintenance addictions just to maintain the addiction of the DOC, the drug of choice. And frequently, one of those problems is nasal and sinus congestion. I know how bad this can be, especially if you are sending things up pathways in your nose. You will get polyps. You can very frequently get a sinus infection. That infection can spread down into the back of your throat. And before you know it, now you've got an additional problem on top of the DOC that is controlling your life. And one of those solutions that many of us turn to, which quickly becomes another problem, are nasal sprays. Nasal sprays like Afrin and Sinex. But let's not confuse those with natural nasal sprays such as saline solution. This is entirely different. A saline solution-based nasal spray, even the non-drip ones, are certainly much better, less harmful than the Afrin and the Sinex. Now, I've been there before, full-blown, hooked, dependent, addicted, whatever you want to call it, going through bottles of Sinex and Afrin every week, and I had to get off. And fortunately, since then, I've developed a system that works for me so that upon the rare occasion that I do need to utilize them, I can utilize it for a short period of time and then be done immediately. I've used this method to help hundreds of clients to get off of these nasal sprays. Now, first off, let's address what these nasal sprays are designed to do, what they specifically do. So to put it very plainly and simply, these nasal sprays like Sinex and Afrin are designed to just reduce internal swelling. That is the basic design. And they do that by narrowing the blood vessels and getting rid of that congestion and that swelling so that we have essentially a larger pathway for air to come in. That's very simple terms, but it is really that easy. You take this, and because you've got some swelling and congestion, this spray just gets rid of the congestion so you can breathe better. It opens up the nasal passages by cutting down on swelling. But the problem comes when the only way you can actually breathe is with the sprays. And then there's also a rebound effect so that your body is accustomed to having the spray in order to breathe. And then it closes back up and it's waiting for more spray. And then when you spray, it opens back up. And then out of nowhere, you are full-blown dependent on these sprays just to breathe. And trust me, I know what a nightmare that is. I've been there. Now, many people also ask if these are natural. No, they are not. They contain chemicals. Those chemicals are what decrease congestion. They're called decongestants. And the two main ingredients that act as the decongestants are number one, oxymetazoline or oxymetazoline, however you want to say it, and phenylephrine and pseudoephedrine. It depends on which brand you're using and which active ingredients are there, but those are the main decongestants. Now, these are chemicals. They are not natural ingredients. They are synthetic chemicals, but they work. And again, that's kind of the double edge of the sword. A lot of these chemicals that are designed in a lab, they work. But the danger comes in taking these too long and becoming fully dependent. So you have to cut it short. Use it for a short period of time, then switch over to a saline solution like this, which is just salt water. I use this every day. Every day I wake up in the morning, I fill my nostrils with saline solution, soak it up, and then I blow until I'm clear. And that's another danger. If you've been using a DOC for an extended period of time, you will suffer the effects. There will be long-term side effects. You will never be back to the way that you used to be, not normal, but you can live just fine. You'll get through it, you'll get over it, you'll get used to whatever's left. For instance, many people start developing polyps inside the nose, just small little sores that you didn't have previous to using the DOC, the drug of choice. That's the reason why when you want to play, there's always a price to pay. And sometimes that price can last for the rest of your life. It's nothing you can't get through. It's nothing you can't live with. You're better off just being healthy and staying healthy. Remember, my coaching practice is about harm mitigation. getting off of those dangerous drugs and getting you down to the ones that you're going to stay alive on. So oxymetazoline and phenylephrine are the two drugs inside the nasal spray that do act as decongestants. They work well. Do not use them for a prolonged period of time. Now, to the point of the video, how did I get off of using these every day for months? And I mean months. I was using these for about 7 to 8 months every single day, going through bottles of these a week, bottles and bottles a week, using them all day long. And eventually, the only way my body could even breathe was with a few snorts of this. Now, if you are in a place where you're starting to utilize these, I want you to stay away from the non-drip formulas. Just stick to the normal maximum strength Sinex or Afrin with the ultra fine mist. That's what you want to stick with, but I'm not encouraging you to go to them. But if you need them for a specific reason, you're going to stay away from the non-drip formulas. Now, let's say you're ready to get off. You know you need to get off. Well, you're going to go buy a brand new bottle of saline solution. And they do come in this, and they come in this. This is the mist. So instead of it being a stream, it's just a little mist. So you're going to have two options. They're both going to serve our purpose pretty much the same. But eventually, if you do want to just start using them out of the bottle, you'll see it's more of like a stream. See that? Whereas, again, like I showed the other one is a mist. Now, let's say you're all ready to get off. Now, there's tons of videos on YouTube talking about how people take these and they fill it with warm water and, they kind of cut down the ingredients in it. And listen, here's the easiest way to do it. You just get yourself your saline solution. If you have an old bottle laying around, such as this is an empty old bottle of Afrin, but I keep it filled with saline solution so that I still have that mist, because that's what I prefer to breathe in, is a mist that comes out of this. I take an empty bottle of my Afrin and I fill it with saline solution. Either one, the saline spray or the saline mist. But regardless, fill that empty bottle with your saline, okay? Now that's going to be handy for a very long time. In fact, as you can see, I still use this bottle every single day, but it's just saline solution. Now, what you're going to do is typically we rotate between a couple bottles. So I have a Sinex Extra Mist here, and then an Afrin. This is the one I advise not to use, the no drip. Do not use this, but it's for severe congestion. And these are full bottles that are not going to be used. They're just for demonstration purpose. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your main bottle that you're using. Okay, let's say this is the Sinex that I'm using every single day. Maybe you just started a bottle, maybe you're halfway through your bottle. Now, I should also mention right now that it is important to have one of the Afrin or Sinexes where the lid comes off. Some of them, the lid is on there and it's not going to come off, whereas other ones like this, the lid unscrews. This is what you want. In fact, you need this. So, you're going to take your bottle that you're using, your daily bottle of whatever it is, Afrin or Sinex, and you're going to fill the bottle with your saline. Mix it. You're going to mix the saline in with whatever you have left of Afrin. Then what I like to do is have a second bottle of Afrin or Sinex, the new one. I like to have that on hand. And maybe this is not applicable to everyone, but sometimes in an emergency, when you feel like the solution is not working, that can cause an extreme panic or anxiety for some people. To the point where if the solution that we're trying isn't working, many people report to me, and I've experienced this as well, getting thrown into a panic attack. Now, if you get to that point, you want to have something on hand that's going to relieve that panic attack. And if that means that you have to throw in a couple sprays of full-strength Sinex to clear your nostrils and breathe again and get out of the panic attack, then that's what you do. But you know it's there. The point is not to use it, but to know that we have it, to ease the mind. It's in our pocket, it's in our purse, whatever. You know that in case of an emergency, you have it, especially for those who are prone to anxiety and panic. But we now mixed our saline solution with what we have left of Afrin. This is what we're going to then be utilizing. And what I do is I go like this, mix it in there, I try to get enough in my nasal passages where I'm spitting it out and trying to cleanse it that way. Yes, this could be gross to some people, but hey, it's part of life. You want to clear everything out. This really works to clear out your sinuses. Now, when your main bottle starts running low, all you're going to do is go to your next bottle and you're going to dump out half of it into your Afrin. You're going to continue to try mixing half of your nasal decongestant with saline. And then eventually, over time, you're going to just switch over to full saline. But that depends on how effective this is working on clearing you out. For some people, it works very quickly, and for others, it can take a long time. But that's essentially the point, friends. If you have any questions about it, drop a line in the comment section. I hope that answers a question we'll be getting a lot of, but you can get off of these. You don't have to rely on them, and you will be better off for it. All right, peace and love, friends. I'll catch you in the next video.